All right, Catherine, thank you very much. And we have a guest joining us in studio today. This is William Freeman, and he is here to talk to us about an upcoming benefit fundraiser happening at the Clemens Center. And Mr. Freeman, this is something that's very close to your heart. It's in honor of a lifelong friend of yours from Elmira, Mr. Norman Mordue. And I think a lot of people may know who that is, but for those who don't, give us a quick, and you and I talked for 45 minutes earlier, so I've learned a lot about Mr. Mordue, but for our friends at home, tell us about your friend Norman.
Well, Norman grew up in Elmira. He played sports from the time he was 10 years old. He was a star quarterback at Southside High School, the first quarterback under Coach Tom Hurley. The center for the team then was Judge Joe Holly of Southport. And it was also the first major winning season that Southside had had because Ernie had gone to Syracuse. He couldn't win a game against the Academy when Ernie was there. Also, it was the first time we beat Elmira Free Academy and won the coveted Erie Bell at the time. Norm went on and became the first athlete under Coach Hurley to get an athletic scholarship. He went to Syracuse. He played in the backfield with Floyd Little and Jim Nance. Ernie went on to graduate and then have that tragic death. But during the last couple of years at Syracuse, Norm and Ernie commuted back and forth to Elmira. And they had a great relationship. In fact, Norm always told the story that he was the last college football player to tackle Ernie Davis because the seniors that were departing always played a game against the new varsity team or Syracuse team. And Norm then was playing a safety or a linebacker, I'm sorry, but he tackled them behind the lines, and Ernie joked with him about that always. So they were very good friends, and everybody who knew Ernie knew he was a terrific person. Norm was not Ernie Davis. He was an outstanding football player. He won a number of awards, both as a student and as a football player. He went on, when he graduated, he also graduated as the most outstanding ROTC student. He was immediately sent to Vietnam. He participated in a number of battles, earning the Bronze Star with V for Valor, earning an Air Medal, and then in the last major battle that he participated in, he earned the Distinguished Service Cross, which is the second highest medal that can be awarded. He was wounded severely, spent a couple of years in hospitals and recuperating. He went back to Syracuse, graduated third in his graduating class of law school, the same class that Joe Biden was in, by the way. And he went on to become assistant district attorney in charge of violent crimes, prosecuted 16 murder cases, including a mass murder case, and got 16 convictions. He went on to serve in the Onondaga County Court, the New York State Supreme Court, and then he was appointed to federal judge, became chief federal judge before his death and retirement. But
so he was a storied athlete, standout athlete, decorated Vietnam veteran, went on to have a long and productive legal career.
Absolutely, and he never forgot, whenever he was interviewed, he always said he was from Elmira, New York. He was proud to be an Elmiran. And as you mentioned, he excelled in whatever he did, whether it was on the football field, the battlefields, or the battles in the courtroom. The Syracuse University named him one of their most distinguished graduates. They held a major tribute for him last year at the halftime between the Army and Syracuse game. And so we thought it was time that maybe his hometown also honored him. There's going to be a memorial approved by the mayor and the city council at Riverfront Park. Hopefully it's going to be installed before the end of the year. We'll know soon what the date is.
And you have a wonderful event coming up at the Clemens Center in October.
We've brought a terrific group to Clemens Center that's traveled up and down the coast and around the country and had great reviews. It's two bands, really. It's called 70s versus 80s, a musical battle. And there are two bands with vocalists and dancers and playing all the greatest hits. One band plays all the greatest hits of the 70s, the other of the 80s. And
it's audience participation,
yeah,
right?
they have an MC that's really involved with the audience, between the bands and the audience. And there's an applause meter, and at the end, they award as to who was the winning band or who had the most appreciated music. And a lot of that 70s and 80s music is still played today. And so anybody who's certainly between 40 and 75 is going to enjoy seeing the 70s and 80s music, and even people of other ages, I think.
And so tickets are on sale. You can get them at the Clemens Center box office. And we do want to note there is a discounted rate if you are a veteran or a member of law enforcement. There's a discount. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is to benefit the Norman Mordue Memorial and Scholarship. That scholarship gets awarded to a graduating high school student who wants to make a career either out of the military, law enforcement, or the legal profession, following in your friend's footsteps.
Well, we've discussed a basic criteria along those lines with Hillary Austin, who's been very supportive, and with Zachary Lloyd, who's the athletic director up there. They're going to come back to us. We've said we really want someone who's an all-around person, and Norman was certainly someone like that. He was not just an athlete; he was an extremely popular person. He was a good student. He wasn't the best student he learned to appreciate academics later in life.
Sure.
But he was admired by everyone who knew and met him, and he loved Elmira. And so we're happy to be able to bring this concert to Elmira, and we hope we can get some support. We'd like to get some corporate sponsors, and we'd like to have some people present at the concert. You won't regret it. And I want to thank you, Renata, for inviting me here. I know that you've been very supportive of veterans and veteran organizations.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you and what you're doing to honor your friend and a wonderful Elmiran. Mr. Freeman, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.